So, on my last video, I said I'm working on Rare Dungeon Extreme solo and team videos. Well, here's one of them. I'm still getting used to playing extreme mode with a team, so yeah, keep an eye out on the video if you're interested. Alright, enough of my mumbling. Let's get rolling. So, here is what we will be covering in this video. We're gonna be going over the starting gifts, buffs, and the ID, the packs, and the pack specific gifts, support skills, and general gifts.
Yo, it's me, Roland from Library on the Nintendo Switch.
First things first, like any Mirror Dungeon solo, we begin with keeping the Infinity mode on, selecting the double upgrades and all buffs. Pretty simple, right? But here is when it starts to deviate. You know, depending on which ID you selected to do the solo with. Now, any ID can do a solo Mirror Dungeon Extreme, but there's a few characteristics that are better to have, and one of them being a gloom based skill that's not a defense skill. You may be asking why that's relevant, and that's because of one eagle gift, the Grey Coat. If you don't know what it does, it basically heals you for a percentage of the damage you do if the skill was gloom or it had more than one attack weight. So yeah, you could go with an ID that does AoE damage on command. For example, Hornet Merceau with his skill 2 and 3. To keep things simple, I'm going to do this with the LCD OCR team Ishmael, who is Mono Slash and has a gloom skill in a kit. Once we've selected our ID and buffs, now's the time to get started with starting gifts. Here you might be thinking we go for either poise or bleed gifts because that's what's in their kit, right? But nope, we are gonna go for the slash gifts. And before you continue, hit the gift search button so it's on, and here you will take these three gifts: Ashen Constellation, Banner Shaped Music Box, and Haunted Shoes. You might be thinking, that's a pretty odd selection because the ID might not be syncing, right? But here, just take a look at the Eagle gifts. Ashen Constellation makes it so that your first deployed Sinner always has 2 protection, so basically that's 20% damage reduction, and the damage they are fatal to is turned to normal. So let's say your ID is fatal to blunt, so instead it will be not fatal, it will be normal. Manner Shaped Music Box basically gets rid of any stagger at turn end. So yeah, no stagger means you flash more, which means you don't get hit often. Now, Haunted Shoes though. On its own, it's pretty useless for us, but it is pretty essential for crafting Hoarfrost Footprint, which is a tier 4 Eagle gift. And if you don't know, here's a summary of what it does. Basically, it inflicts sinking on enemies at turn start, and enemies with sinking lose 2 clash power. It does, however, inflict 1 sinking potency and 3 sinking count on your sinners as well. But it also makes it so that your sinners inflict sinking on enemies when you hit them, and even more when the enemies hit your sinners. For this section, I will go over what packs to take and the corresponding pack specific gifts you need to get from them. I will put up an image of the gift you need to select, so feel free to pause and read. Floor 1 is gonna be the Unloving for Frozen Cries. This is used to make Frost Footprint in combination with Haunted Shoes. Frozen Cries is gotten through the pack rewards. Floor 2, Hell's Kitchen for Tango Marinade, Contaminated Needle, and either of the chicken pieces if your ID can use them. But if you get them through the event, it's better to take them because you can use them to fuse for the tier 4 gifts. Tango Marinade is keywordless, so either guaranteed through the pack rewards or the abnormality event or the shop refresh. Contaminated Needle is bleed, so you can get it in the shop through the keyword search or during the abnormality event. Floor 3 is going to be Full Stop by a Bullet for the Dark Flame Smoking Pipe and Gear Shrapnel. Each of them can be gotten through the pack rewards, the abnormality events, or the shop. Dark Flame Smoking Pipe is Pierce, and Gear Shrapnel is Poise. So you can keyword search for them in the shop. Floor 4 is going to be line 2 for Bridle. Bridle is keywordless, so either get it through the pack rewards or the shop refresh. Floor 5, Spring Cultivation for Black Iron Barding, or you could go for any pack that is not on this list. Floor 6 is gonna be Murder on the Warp Express, or Crystallized Blood, Cardiovascular Reactive Module, and Bioregenerative Battery. Crystallized Blood is Bleed, and the other two are Charge. You can get them in the shop. Floor 7 is gonna be Time Killing Time Bogak for the Emergency Investigators badge, Weighted Watch Case, Etched Clock Hands, and Rusted Clock Hands. The badge is keywordless, so either get it to the pack rewards, shop refresh, or the event. And the rest are tremors, so you can get them through the keyword search. There's also warning notice and prepaid time receipt, which you could pick up through the Time Killing Time pack, not the Bogak, the original pack, in floor 5. You could pick it up in floor 5. Floor 8 is gonna be anything. Again, go for anything that might help your ID, or go for any other pack that's not on this list. Floor 9 is gonna be Miracle in District 20 for the Sad Plushie, the Pom Pom Hat, the Huge Gift Sack, Packaging Ribbon, and Packaging Gift. Sad Plushie, Packaging Gift, and Ribbon are keywordless, so you can get them through the pack rewards. I will say though, try and look for Sad Plushie because that's the harder one to get. The Packaging Gift and Ribbon are like easier to get through in the shop or in the event. Pom Pom Hat and Huge Gift Sack are Poise, so you can keyword search for them in the shop. Each of these can be fused together to make the Jolly Plushie, which requires the Sad Plushie, Pom Pom Hat, and a Huge Gift Sack. And the Ego Gift is made with Packaging Gift and Packaging Ribbon. Floor 10 is going to be in line 1 for the False Halo and Stick Slow. Both are keywordless, so either guarantee them through the pack rewards or refresh the shop to get them. Floor 11 is going to be line 3 Mirror Clock Orange Road, not the Terminus, for the Unhatched Embers. It is burn keyword, so you can keyword search for it in the shop. Floor 12 is going to be Code Purple for the K-Corp Ampules. You don't need to look for it, you get it when you complete the pack. Floor 13 is going to be Efflorescent Greenery, floor 14 is going to be SEACR, and floor 15 is going to be Bridle of Infinity. All in all, I just want to add that all of these suggestions that I said for the packs and their respective gifts are purely just suggestions on my part because they work for me, and there may be even more combinations of like packs and their specific gifts that might be even more helpful. So feel free to mix and match and put in whatever you want. Go for whatever you want. You can change the whole thing, you can follow exactly as I said. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're playing the game and you should do it your way. This is purely just treat this as like an outline or a guide. Last step for this section is for the hidden bosses. So after floor 10, meaning starting from floor 11, you have a chance of coming across hidden boss nodes. When you stumble across a normal node, it will suddenly blare alarms and then let you know that you've stumbled upon a hidden boss. So if you get them before floor 13, try and go for them. They are pretty easy if you've done everything correctly. They can still get tricky, but you can still go for them. But during floor 13 and after floor 13, do not go for them because of the adversities, and the stacking mounting trials is going to make it really hard for you.
I'm not here to support the violence. I am the violence.
Now, this section is also kind of tricky to give like a definitive loadout for every ID, but honestly, you can just do the entire thing with just the support passives of the base centers. So here's a list of general selection of IDs to make your support skills with. For Hong Lu, it's gonna be Ting Tang Tang Gang Leader Hong Lu. Rhodia is just gonna get base Rhodia. Merceau, base Merceau is also like pretty good. For Sinclair, either Zoi Association West Sinclair or South Sinclair. Both are pretty good. Base Ishmael is also pretty good. Ncorp Kleinhammer Heathcliff for the nails. RB Chef Ryoshu for healing, or Drifting Blade Ryoshu for shield. G Corp Gregor for basically healing on clashing. Lobotomy Corporation Faust, or if you don't have her, just go with the base Faust. And for Otis, either G Corp Head Manager, Blade Lineage, or base Otis. Now, for Dawn and Yi Sang, I've said this before as well, those two probably have like the most versatile amount of support passives. So take a look at what you have and then select what you might need. Now, this is a tip for you lot who are making their own team of passives. Make sure they are all resources owned and not resonance. And in the case that they are resonance, make sure that your center can in fact do the resonance. And before I get started, I feel like I should mention that most of the gifts I'll mention will not be pack specific, and if they are, I will say it. Also, it goes without saying that pick up any gifts that your ID has the keyword for. So, in my case, I will be picking up any poise, bleed, and slash gifts. This section is also going to go by pretty quickly, so feel free to pause and rewind if you need to look at the details. So, first off, burn. Fiery down if you have the Lust Sin affinity, Pinpoint Logic Circuit if you have the Envy Sin affinity, Dust to Dust, and Charred Disc. For bleed, Contaminated Needle, that's from Bell's Kitchen, Little and To Be Naughty Plushie, Layered Bandages, and Redstone Gossiping. Tremor, Nixie Divergence, Blood, Sweat and Tears, Oscillating Bracelet, Reverberation, Melted Eyeball, Well of Truth, Fire Venom Vial, Downpour. For Rupture, Talisman Bundle, Crown of Roses, Broken Revolver, Bone Stake, Barbed Lasso, Fluorescent Lamp, Standard Duty Battery, and Thrill. For Singing, Thorny Path if you have the Lust or Gloom Resonance, Cantabile, Melted Spring, Faded Overcoat, Midwinter Nightmare, Skeletal Crumbs, Broken Compass, Blue Star Shard, and Artistic Sense. For Poise, Pendant of Nostalgia, Ornamental Horseshoe, Devil's Share, Elytra, Cigarette Holder, Nebulizer, Old Wooden Doll, Angel's Cut, Four-Leaf Clover, Benfugality, and Clean Mirror Calm Water. For Charge, Curriculum Vitae, Rest Guards, UPS Systems, Portable Battery Socket, Lightning Rod, and Charge Type Gloves. Damage Types. Take the memory fragments for the respective damage type your center does, and all the gifts of the damage type if usable, and the tier 4 gifts as well, meaning for Blunt, you want to get Crushed Memory and the Book of Vengeance. For Pierce, it's going to be Punctured Memory and Dueling Manual, and for Slash, it's Sundered Memory and Broken Greatsword. Also, Broken Greatsword can be taken even if your ID does not have slash skills. Keyword list. For keyword list, just read and take anything your ID can use, because most of the time you will be taking ego generating gift. healing, cost amplification, damage amplification, and don't forget to craft your lunar memory. Also, additional tip, you can remake your memory fragment after you have crafted your lunar memory. So keep some spare vestiges to make your memory fragment after you have crafted your lunar memory. Side note, there are a few curse gifts that require you to clear 6 encounters, then get them to be useful. Now normally these would be fine except for one called Record Logs of That Day, which makes one of your sinners be always staggered at turn start. And if you're doing a solo, it will always make them staggered. Banner Box won't help because it clears the stagger at turn end, and the curse staggers you at turn start. So yeah, be careful of that. You get it through an abnormality event called Audio Logs of That Day. And if you get it, select the leave option and not to play the recording. So yeah, that's all the advice I gotta give to you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.